Hi children, I hope you all are fine. Now onwards, I will be your new computer teacher and I am Libby Thomas. Now we can move to the next chapter, that is chapter 3, more on Edubuntu. Linux Edubuntu is an operating system. Linux Edubuntu is an operating system. Operating system, which means it act like an interface. Operating interface, which means it act like a interface between a user and the hardware. So Linux Edubuntu is an operating system and it act like an interface between a user and computer hardware. An operating system can create process, it can delete or it can stop the process, and also it can allocate or share the process, and also can do some advanced tasks too. So Linux Edubuntu is an operating system. It acts like an interface between a user and computer hardware. It create process, it stop the process, and also share or allocate the process. Now, the first topic is screensaver. Screensaver is nothing but an animated or a moving picture. Screensaver is nothing but a moving picture. It will become activate. It will become activate only when the computer is in idle or it is in inactivate state. When the computer is in inactivate or idle state, the screensaver will appear. When you press any button on the keyboard or when you move the mouse, it will stop. When you press any button on the keyboard, or when you press or when you move the mouse, the screensaver will stop. Now, to set the screensaver, you need to follow some steps. First step is that click the Ubuntu button. Click the Ubuntu button that is in the launch bar. Then a dash home window will appear. From you need to type screensaver in search bar. Type screensaver in the search bar. The screensaver icon will appear. Now you can see it in the figure 3.1. To set the screensaver, first click Ubuntu button that is on the left corner. First click Ubuntu button, then a dash home will appear. The next step is that type the screensaver in the search bar. Now you need to type screensaver in the search box. The screensaver icon will appear. Just click on that. The third step is just click the screensaver icon. Then the screensaver preference dialog box will appear. After clicking the screensaver icon, the screensaver preference dialog box will appear. From the screensaver preference dialog box, select any option from mode. Now you need to select any option from mode. Here we selected only one screensaver, which is shown in the figure 3.2. In the next step, it is that select the screensaver that you want. Okay, now you select the screensaver that you want. You can see the screensaver in a preview section. That means if you need to see the preview, just click the preview button. If you need to see the preview, just click the preview button. That is also shown in the figure 3.3, previewing screensaver. Now in the last step, you need to set the number of minutes, which means in the blank after box, you need to set the number of minutes after which you want the screensaver to start. Which means the screensaver of the computer that will changes accordingly to the selected option. The screensaver of the computer that will changes according to the selected options. The next topic is setting screen brightness. To make the screen more visible mode or in a form of readable, you need to set the screen brightness. For this, follow the step. First step is click the session indicator on the menu bar. That is shown in the figure 3.4. The session indicator that is placed in the top right corner. You can see it in the figure. In the top right corner, you need to click the session indicator. Then a submenu will appear. From the submenu, click the option System Setting. From the submenu, click the option System Setting. When you click System Setting option, the System Setting window will appear. Then click the Brightness and Lock option in the Personal section. So you need to click the Brightness and Lock option in the Personal section. That is also shown in figure 3.5 System Setting windows. In the fourth step is that the brightness and lock dialog box will appear. Now you need to drag the brightness slider to change the screen brightness. In the fourth step is that the brightness and lock dialog box will appear. From the brightness and lock dialog box, you need to drag the brightness slider that you can see in the figure 3.6. Now you need to drag the brightness slider to change the screen brightness. Then the last step is that click the close button and exit the window. That is the last step. Click the close button and exit the window. Next topic is screenlets. Screenlets are the mini program. Screenlets are mini program that are useful and also show upon the desktop. Screenlets are mini program that are useful and also show upon the desktop. Some example of screenlets are calculator, clock, CPU meter and calendar. Example of screenlets are calculator, clock, CPU meter and calendar. First, calc. Calc, it acts as a calculator. So, calc acts as a calculator and it will do some arithmetic operations. So, like the calc will perform the arithmetic operations like division, multiplication, subtraction, addition. That's it. Calc. Then next is clock. Clock, it will show the current time. Clock will show current time. Next, CPU meter. It measures the amount of CPU activity at a time, which means it will calculate the amount of activity, amount of CPU activity in a time. That is CPU meter. Then calendar. The clear calendar show the calendar and also it show current date highlighter with current date highlighter. The calendar will show the calendar and also highlight the current date. That is calendar. Now we will discuss about how to launch the screenlet. First, click Ubuntu button. Then type screenlet in search bar. First you need to click Ubuntu button. Then type screenlet in search bar. There will be a box. You need to type screenlet in search bar. Then the screenlet icon will appear. Click on that screenlet icon. Now screenlet manager dialog box will appear that you can see it in figure 3.7. Screenlet manager dialog box will appear. There will be a list of mini programs. And then last select any mini programs and click launch or add option. Now last step is to select any mini program and click the launch or add option. The selected mini program that will displayed on desktop. Here in the example the calculator is displayed on desktop. Here in example the calculator is displayed. You can see it in the figure 3.8. I hope you understand the session. Have a nice day and thank you.